did get a news alert from RITA, which is the Regional Income Tax Agency that we work under, and Mr. Presley and I attended the RITA annual meeting last Wednesday, and Mr. Presley was reelected to the board, which we're very pleased because we get some inside information on this. But they issued a call of action to House Bill 49, which is the budget bill, and there are some concerns that RITA has, and many people who were in that audience had, and also when I went to the the mayor's conference in Columbus to discuss the proposed governor's budget and now the state legislature, they have strong objection to the Senate version of the budget bill that would allow businesses to file municipal net profit returns with the Ohio Department of Taxation, and to eliminate the net profit sales throwback rule. The Senate will be releasing its final version of the budget bill by tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and they're likely to vote on the bill on Wednesday. And then after that, it would go to a conference committee. They must get this bill. They must have the budget in place by June 30th. The concerns about the net profit opt-in filing is that it would create two different sets of rules for municipal net profit taxpayers in the filing process and payment, and also the administration of the municipal income tax. Mr. Presley suggested it would be like having two parents, and children, when they want to get what they want, they go to the parent who is less strict and more loosey-goosey with the rules than the other, and then that would create a situation which would be untenable. Based on the small businesses circumstance, they might go from one agency to the other. Then there wouldn't be a record, and there wouldn't be access to the past tax filings to make sure that things are being done properly. It would also increase the size and scope of state government by creating a new administrative bureaucracy in the Department of Taxation, and it would certainly take control over more municipal income tax revenues, and with no input from municipalities. The elimination of the sales throwback rule is conservatively estimated to cost regional income tax municipalities $9 to $11 million in lost revenue. And Mr. Chairman, I think Mr. Presley probably could do a better job explaining both of those, as he did in the committee meeting about a half hour ago.
Mr. Presley.
Thank you, Mayor, Mr. Miners, Council President. The big thing with the net profits is the fear that it is just the beginning of eroding home rule, and that is by allowing businesses to choose where they file their income taxes and allowing the state to begin collecting state municipal income taxes, that the next proposal out of the state will be individuals choosing whether they file with the state or with a third-party collection agency on behalf of municipalities. The big thing with the state and their net profits is they get to, as the mayor indicated, they get to establish their own rules relative to what is taxable, what would be non-taxable, or what would be exempt from taxation. They don't have to file the same rules that they just mandated in the previous House Bill 5, establishing uniformity throughout municipal income taxes. And so it really is opening up Pandora's box relative to municipal income taxes on a very small scale relative to net profits, but what could completely erode home rule and the municipality's ability to collect income tax, which is our second largest source of revenue after property taxes. The net throwback, or the throwback rule relative to that, is it's not a revenue that is going from one city to another. It is completely eliminating that $9 to $11 million of revenue that businesses would be able to avoid, and so it's a complete loss of revenue throughout the state of Ohio and all of the member municipalities that make up RITA, which is about 283 of them at this point throughout the state, where regional income tax agency right now is in 73 counties out of the 88 in the state. So statewide, municipalities would be losing between $9 and $11 million of revenue that otherwise is not going to be made up.
Thank you, sir. Mayor.
Yeah, there's a second issue which I think is important. We all are concerned about the opiate crisis. You know, we have been working in Avon Lake for a number of years now trying to deal with this growing problem. And the state legislature and people in Columbus, certainly the Attorney General and the governor, have expressed their concerns about the opiate crisis, and we support that. But the funding proposal apparently in the Senate version of the bill does designate an amount of money for dealing with the opiate crisis, and they're basically taking it out of the local government funds. So rather than us getting the revenue that we think we might be getting next year, it will be a reduced amount, but some of those funds would be available for dealing with the opioid crisis. In effect, what they're doing is they're taking the cost of dealing with the opioid crisis out of local government funds rather than the state monies that were committed for this budget, these 2 budget years. So that's a concern as well. I did send to you, at the request of members of the committee, I did send you this RETA news alert. Unfortunately, I actually initially sent the announcement of Mr. Presley's re-election and put the phone numbers on that one, so I resent the correct one in the second email, and that's what happens, haste makes waste and all that stuff. But you will have the information, just look for, and you'll see the first one has the phone numbers. Senator Manning's phone number is 614-644-7613. That's 614-644-7613. That, again, that's in an email that you will have received. Representative Manning's Columbus number is 614-644-5076. And if you look at the RETA information, they will talk about the net profit opt-in and the elimination of the throwback rule. That would be very helpful. Again, they plan on voting this out of committee on Wednesday, and then they have until the 30th, which is that Saturday? Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. We have an updated resolution in support of LEEDCO's effort to build an offshore wind power industry in Ohio. The original resolution this council passed was 152-2013, passed in 2013, of course. It has been corrected slightly to be accurate in 2017. For additional detail, I'd like to ask Councilwoman Fenderbosch to enlighten us if she would.
Thank you very much.
Fenderbosch.
Thank you very much. This came out of basically the sustainability conference that I went to in Oberlin representing the city of Avon Lake. And LEEDCO is before the Ohio Siting Power Board again. And so there's a different docket number. This case is 16-1871-EL-BGN. And they're requesting that we have another resolution. The resolution on my paper says 2016. It should say 2017, Mrs. Dopp. 2017. Another change is that, or rather some things that are okay, is that they're still looking at over 700 megawatts. It shouldn't be gigawatts, it should be megawatts of offshore wind generating potential. And the icebreaker will be completed in 2019. The earlier version showed that $4 million was invested from the United States Department of Energy. Today, $10 million have already been invested. $40 million are on their way once they receive this last hurdle. The last hurdle is that they need to have cities send in their resolutions of support. The icebreaker will create over 500 jobs and lead to an industry that employs 8,000 by 2030. I'm in favor of it. Lakewood's already passed theirs. A number of cities have already passed theirs, and we've done it before. And I recommend that this can be done very quickly because it needs to be sent to the Ohio Siting Power Board as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. The only item I have on the under the Public Service Committee this evening are appointments to the Health Services Advisory Commission. My colleagues may recall that we are in the process, if approved by Council next week, in creating a Health Services Advisory Commission to assist the city in evaluating the usefulness of the Lorraine County Health Department and Avon Lake's participation in that. And the way that we intend on doing that is creating a commission mostly comprised of citizen members from Avon Lake and a few other individuals that I'll mention here in a moment. And we have asked for interested individuals to come forward and apply for positions on the commission. There are 3 citizen commission member roles, and we've received 2 well-qualified applicants. The first is Judith Bird. Judith is a registered nurse. She is currently a operation nurse an operating room nurse, at the Cleveland Clinic. And the second is Joanne Duffy. Joanne Duffy is also a registered nurse, has served in various positions with the Lorain City Health Department for a number of years. And so both of them are very well qualified and in good positions to help us here at City Council and the mayor understand whether we're actually receiving the benefits promised as members of the Lorain County Health Department. In addition, the commission will have two representatives from city government. The first is the mayor or the mayor's designee. I don't know if the mayor has indicated to council whether he will choose to personally participate on the commission or whether he'll appoint someone in his stead. But in addition, the city council is authorizing itself to appoint one member of its members to the commission, and I think the consensus, if not the unanimous opinion of members of this council, is to appoint the council president to that position. So it's my intention to move to appoint both Mrs. Bird and Mrs. Duffy, as well as Mr. O'Donnell, to positions on the commission. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We had spoke of this as Mr. Costa had indicated at the Safety Committee meeting about 3 months ago, and it's a mutual aid agreement between the Avon Lake, and Sheffield Village Police Departments that we work together with the chiefs of those departments and also the law directors. Mr. Lieberman was very instrumental in this process with us. What this allows, it is in addition to our countywide mutual aid agreement that we currently working under that was established in 2000. As we know, things have changed since 2000, and this is a way that there's some things that are in here that aren't in the countywide mutual aid agreement. And the biggest part that's in here, it's a lot more cooperation between the departments and dealing with some jurisdictional issues with misdemeanor situations. This gives officers from each of the three agencies a lot more latitude in those adjoining cities. And we had chose, in talking to the other two chiefs, the three cities that fall under our court's jurisdiction to present this. And I have had discussion with other chiefs in other jurisdictions, namely Bay Village, that border us, that are very interested in possibly joining this in the future. This is some of the things, as I said, allows for the cooperative law enforcement without request. Our current one requires that agency to call us. Well, in the heat of the battle, sometimes you don't care who shows up, and this really helps out in that manner. As we know, in a lot of situations, especially major situations, whoever shows up, that you're welcoming them. And we will share radio frequencies and have the ability to hear what's going on so our officers can respond to that, and it really helps out in that manner.
Just a reminder to residents that in the event of a power outage, which a number of Avon Lake residents, including me, experienced today, residents are encouraged to call First Energy at 1-888-LIGHTS, LIGHTSS, 2 S's on that, 1-888-LIGHTS with 2 S's, or visit firstenergycorp.com. On either one of those, you can report your power outage. Do not take it for granted that they know about the power outage. Report it yourself. If you go onto the website, you can even see the other outages in the area, so you know you're not alone. And on both the website and the phone reporting of it, you will actually get an estimate of when they determine that the power may be restored. So that's always helpful as well too, to have a general idea on when the restoration will be. Thank you.